The Army Rugby Union had reached their business end of the season just as the coronavirus pandemic struck. The last major fixture was the Intercorps final in early March. Since then, the sport has taken an enforced hiatus. Chris Folk is the Army Rugby Union secretary. He is helping to oversee the sport's safe return to the ranks. He's hopeful that it won't be too long before soldiers up and down the country can get back playing the game in some capacity.
The Army Rugby Union have submitted our first application to get community rugby, which is unit rugby, back to playing rugby ready. And that's sort of a two-touch 10 versus 10 in an attack-defence environment that'll allow us to get some of the drills in place. It's very basic, but it's a start in the right direction.
By its very nature, rugby is heavy on physical contact. The Army Sports Control Board and the Army Rugby Union are following the Rugby Football Union's roadmap to seeing the return of competitive rugby. Without the luxury of creating the bio-bubble seen at professional level, the Army are taking a cautious approach to the community game they oversee. In doing so, soldiers can play and train in a safe environment.
Zone D, which we're in from the RFU, allows limited contact. So 15 minutes on individuals to do very basic things like tackle below the waist, have 2-on-2 rucks and unopposed lineouts, of which you must throw to the guy that's being lifted in the air. And it's all based upon face-to-face contact and limiting that time so that potential infection can't be spread from sort of face-to-face.
The RFU are set to announce when adult community rugby can return. That statement is not until the start of October. There is the potential that the Inter-Services Under-23 Championship could take place before the end of the calendar year.
If we get to start playing in November, we could potentially, with the right, the right windows, try and fit that in December before everybody disappears on Christmas leave.
Yeah, have you been collaborating then with the other two services, or at least discussing with them where you hope to be going?
Absolutely. Myself and the Royal Air Force, and particularly the Royal Navy with Alan Church, we speak 3 or 4 times a week on sort of the next steps. And, and I think the other two services are as keen as us to just get that sort of that window of opportunity. If we can go in November, we certainly will.
With crowds, albeit small in number, returning to watch games at major venues, what chance is there that the 2021 Inter-Services tournament, including the Twickenham fixture, will go ahead?
Our intent is to play at Twickenham, and so that's hopeful. The RFU have done a great job in the last few months in getting a huge amount of work done for the Autumn International Series that's coming up, and the recent announcement of 20,000 fans, up to 20,000 fans for the England Barbarians game in October. We came off a call with them this morning, and they've got some great processes in place that's going to make the whole experience COVID safe.
With coronavirus not yet kicked into touch, a safe and successful return to rugby is at least gaining pace. Julian Evans, Forces News, Aldershot.